Ever since the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi, there's been a lot of backlash within the Star Wars community and a lot of confusion and mystery as to exactly where the future of the franchise will be in a couple of years' time. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, like I say, I do know that a lot of people are very upset with The Last Jedi, including myself. I had a lot of issues with some of the elements in that movie. One of the biggies for me was, of course, exactly how the character of Luke was treated in the film, but looking at Star Wars Episode 9, a lot of people have been saying that the soloist Star Wars story box office results and The Last Jedi Backlash have the potential of hurting Episode 9's box office, generally speaking. Now, an interesting Forbes article actually popped up today. It's a huge story about Star Wars Episode 9, The Last Jedi Backlash, the soloist Star Wars story box office results. If you guys would like to go ahead and check it out below in the description, please do go ahead and do so. It's a very interesting read for sure. And the writer actually goes over how both the soloist Star Wars story box office results and The Last Jedi Backlash won't hurt Star Wars Episode 9 whatsoever. So, I don't know if you guys disagree or agree with that, because to me, I think that all matters on exactly how the movie is going to be, Star Wars Episode 9. It all depends on exactly how it's going to be done on the big screen by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, what they're going to do with some of our fan-favorite characters like Leia, Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, and exactly how this film will end. There are a lot of factors that go into this movie that will really cause, a lot of word of mouth, whether it's going to be negative or positive. So I think that it may be too soon to say that The Last Jedi box office results and the backlash that it received and the soloist Star Wars story box office results won't hurt Star Wars Episode 9. In my opinion, I think it's way too soon to say so, because to me, we're a little over a year now from the release of this movie. We still don't have a real clue exactly what this film is going to look like on the big screen. We don't have an idea of the overall tone of the film until either a teaser trailer and or a trailer drops that gives us that feeling of how the Star Wars movie is going to be. So with that being said, we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they have a lot of big plans for this movie in order to satisfy all Star Wars fans alike. Whether you're a prequel fan, or an original trilogy fan, or a brand new Star Wars fan entering into the sequel trilogy. Nonetheless, JJ and crew are really trying to work around with this movie so that it will actually attract all Star Wars fans alike. Even if you are only into Star Wars Rebels and the comics and video games, it's going to attract people like that too. So looking at Episode 9, I feel like that they do have the potential at really being and making this movie a successful movie by not just applying a lot of nostalgia and fan service that actually works toward the overall plot and story of the film in a meaningful way, but also just by making a great movie. Now to me, and I know that some of you guys may disagree, to me, The Force Awakens was a fun movie. It was a good movie. I liked the hype, I liked the build up to it all, how they're on the search for Luke Skywalker. Luke is basically the main part of the plot in the background here. That's the main reason as to why our characters are on this mission. They're trying to essentially reach out to Luke Skywalker and find him and restore the Jedi Order and peace throughout the galaxy. So The Force Awakens had that going for it. But with The Last Jedi, a lot of people were disappointed. So now that J.J. Abrams is back, and the fact that he made The Force Awakens, I think it gives a lot of faith in people. Now, I could totally understand if some of you guys out there are very, very, kind of like hard to believe right now that JJ is able to pull it off with Episode 9, or that he's not a great director and or a writer. I respect everybody's opinions about JJ or any filmmaker out there. But for me, until I see a trailer right now, I am pretty faithful about Star Wars Episode 9. I think that there's a lot of high hopes, and I think he's going to get it right. I think it's going to be the Revenge of the Sith of the sequel trilogy, where it stands out from the other two films. That's just my gut feeling. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear your input below in the comments section. Do you agree or disagree with the writer from Forbes that The Last Jedi results, alright, the feedback that it received, and the solo Star Wars story box office results will not affect or hurt Star Wars Episode 9? Do you agree or disagree with that? I would love to hear your input. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.